possession at the start of the second half, and this one is driven away wide, and that is now wide number 10. Cork had 3 wides in the first half. Interesting, the last 3 championship matches between these teams, all won by Galway by 7 points, 12 points and 5 points in the 2012 All-Ireland semi-final. Ahead by 4, as you can see, at this stage. That's up there towards Horgan, runs on as far as Seamus Harnedy, and trying to get this one inside the right-hand upright, and he has succeeded in his task. 3 for him. Really good shot.
Yeah, he switched out to centre forward there, broke onto that ball, and he's the one Cork forward in the first half, really, shown very, very well for the ball, and that's a superstar for Cork now for the second half. And just again, David Burke, he picked up a lot of balls, scored 2 points in the first half, and Joseph Cooney will have to step up to the mark now.
2 Cork players went for the one ball there, didn't get to it. Cathal Mannion did, then it was fired back, and now it's been fired over the bar. Brilliantly done by the wing-back, Aidan Hart. So he becomes the 9th player to score for Galway in this match, and they're ahead by 4 once again from a huge distance out, 116 to 15 points. Out into the middle, Damien Cahalane trying to link up there with Aidan Walsh. Seizing on it here is Joseph Cooney, and Cooney just shortens the grip on the stick and plays it beautifully over. 2 in a row, and a first for Joseph Cooney, announcing his arrival here.
Yeah, Damien Cahalane really should have done better with that ball, hit it straight to Joseph Cooney, and he'll be delighted with that, just in to replace David Burke, and he puts his first chance straight over the bar.
Well, it's a very definite advantage, Galway, and Cooney once again, like a man who was determined to show everybody and anybody that it should have been on from the word go. Instead, it is Damien Cahalane here who's got this possession across towards Aidan Walsh. Fires it in there, but there are a couple of Galway players who should make it, and they do. Daithí Burke hand passing it outside as far as Andy Smith. Smith's taking all, pursued there by Colin, and Jamie Colin from Newton Chandrum right on the sideline, who's boot by Joe Canning to come onto it. Quick as you like, firing it over his shoulder, but firing it wide.
Over.
Colin Callan's puck out. And again, the man he targets, inevitably, Johnny Glynn. Time and again, Glynn has been putting up that hand and collecting and then taking off past Ellis, then running out of space. Across came Shane O'Neill, but he loses it, and finally Cyril Donnellan fires it over. Good point. The second for Donnellan. Should have been clear, it wasn't. Good pressure play by Galway. Great finish.
Yeah, that's what Cyril Donnellan brings to that Galway team.
Again, Cork can't win their own puck out here, unlike Galway. And it's Cathal Mannion taking 5 points from the first half from play. 2 after him. He's winning the race. Brian Murphy trying to catch up. Now he's looking for options, somebody to come and take it from him, make the easy pass possible. And eventually manages to get it back to Joe Canning. How do they do that? Withstood the pressure. Canning again. As far as Aidan Walsh. After him goes number 14, Joe Canning. Caught him as well. Free in. Aidan Walsh down, feeling his leg.
Yeah, and the frustration really telling when you can see Joe Canning holding his head there. Like, obviously no intent there, he just stood on his heel. It is a free. He's on the yellow card, he's hit 6 wide.
The free will be taken once again by Patrick Horgan. And that one is inside the left-hand upright. It's over the bar. It's his first of the second. Walsh trying to avoid the hook there of Joseph Cooney. Succeeded in that, but didn't put it where he wanted.
For today, but Galway dominating at the moment.
Lorcan McLaughlin comes back into the Cork team and gets an early possession here and a shoulder. Welcome to the game, Lorcan. He's been out with an injury, missed the last number of matches. He's come in to replace Cormac Murphy. This was a fine shoulder here by Johnny Glynn.
Well, he's been a key man in the game, not just his goal and a point. He's won so many puckouts, and there's a good old-fashioned shoulder and knocks Lorcan McLaughlin out over the sideline.
So as Lorcan carried the ball out, as we got this one, he's got it just about inside the upright. A third. Joe Canning this afternoon avoiding the hook this time, but not getting much purchase on that. Hanbury's left it behind, fed inside, comes back again. Colin was there, so too was the defender, and that is Iarla Tanyan, who drives it 60-70 metres down the field. Up there to collect it is Lorcan McLaughlin trying to get the ball out. Damien Cahalane slipping the hand pass to Mark Ellis. Cork needs scores. Galway back defending. Nicely in here to Carney. Laid off as far as Horgan. Horgan sniping. Horgan taken down 20 metres out by Johnny Cohen. Free into Cork. Chance to reduce the deficit. Chance to put 5 between them. Good run by Horgan.
Yeah, I think Dahi Burke here, after this, if you watch him, he kneeled down on top of Pat Horgan, and then I think he left a foot in there as well. We mightn't catch it in a replay, but just want to be careful. You know, they're leading well.
Well, they have all the advantages under the sun right now. They can't afford to lose their discipline. Andy Smith, their captain, having a word with James Owens, the referee, but it's going to be a free in. Patrick Horgan's going to take it. Now I wonder, would he consider that Cork need a goal at this stage to lift their spirits?
I think so. I don't think there's anything happening for them. If I was him, I'd have a go at it.
5 on the goal line, just outside the 20-metre line. Slight breeze against him. Horgan comes, he's having a go. Now he's not, he's put it up and over, and he's got an 8th. The way he was approaching it made me match. They have been from the word go. Shane O'Neill comes across, collects, hand passes inside here. Aidan Walsh, oh, he gives off the hand pass that time to Damien Cahalane, who then caught Joseph Cooney, and the referee is going to have word with Cahalane, who's already on a yellow card, so he's going to get himself a second one, and then the referee gives the red, and Cork are down to 14. They've lost Damien Cahalane to 2 yellow cards.
Yeah, caused by a loose hand pass by Aidan Walsh. You know, Joseph Cooney read it well, nipped in. If you watch it here, Aidan Walsh leaves it short. He tips it on over his head and caught him. And
it was the hand which got him.
It was the hand, yeah. And you know, well, if you watch it here again, that's actually, it's technically a red card because it's interfering with the helmet. And
remember, with 23 goals to his credit, has when you take those goals into account, over 300 points. Missed opportunity. After all, it's Patrick Horgan, but he was being well marked by Dahi Burke, and Dahi Burke is one of the best man markers in the game. That's given away by Irla Tanyan, and eventually the shot goes flying over the bar, and another very good point scored by Conor Lehan, his 3rd. That should have been cleared. It wasn't. It gave Cork the opportunity to draw themselves, indeed claw themselves. Minutes still to play. Mark Ellis hammering it forward now here towards Paudie O'Sullivan. They know about his threat. In comes Horgan. Horgan in full flow. Horgan shooting. Well saved by Coleman. Back out towards Paudie O'Sullivan. Gets a second chance. Hits this one and hits it over the bar. Paudie O'Sullivan's first points. It's coming on after Cork were denied a goal opportunity there through a wonderful save by Colm Calnan.
yeah, brilliant touchdown there. First of all, with Paudie O'Sullivan, and Pat Horgan, what pace he has. Had a quick look and a brilliant save. Bounce back out to Paudie and over the bar, and all of a sudden now Cork down to 4 points, and you know, Galway's wides coming back to haunt him, and this weakness they have in the last 10 minutes in a lot of their games hopefully won't come back to haunt them today.
Once again, Johnny Glynn won that from the puck out. Aidan Hart now across there, looking for a spare player over. They've got an extra man, remember, and that extra man right now is Andy Smith. Back once more, and the shot fired in to the left, and it's gone wide. Somehow Galway unable to put Cork away completely, but they're still looking for another, maybe the next score. Mark Ellis given away badly, away as far as Cathal Mannion, who says take that, and they do, and he's now got a 6th, and they're all from open play, and that was from a wretched clearance, and it's now 121 to 19 points.
That's a very poor mistake by Mark Ellis. Cathal Mannion had a quiet second half so far. He's 5 points in the first half. That's his first of the second half, but you'd wonder what Mark Ellis was thinking there. You know, just getting back into the game, a long ball up the field was what was required.
Well, he's one of the stars of this Galway performance. As you say, he's had a quiet second half, definitely, but 6 points against his name, not half bad. Mark Ellis blocked down by Johnny Glynn. What a match he's played. Glynn strikes, and Glynn fires it over. Surely now there is no beating this Galway team here, but there's still time. There's still 10.5 minutes to go, but Johnny Glynn has got a goal and 2.
Yeah, that's an inspirational score. He's had a fantastic game. He's caught an amount of puckouts. He's scored a goal and 2 points. His work rate is
in the hunt for goals, and they still have Paudie O'Sullivan around and Alan Cadigan there. Dangerous players. Galway know all about their threat. Here's Cadigan. Cadigan gets enough space to put it in and put it over the bar. Only chance he's got so far. Took it well. Off the tie completely. A goal for Cork would certainly give us a very interesting last few minutes. That's Aidan Hart hitting it down rather poorly. Puck here, fumbled initially. Brian Murphy getting it as far as Ellis. A lot of short passes, an awful lot of short passes. A lot of pressure by Joe Canning. Finally, it's MacDonald. Gets it forward, under pressure. Gives it away to Greg Lally. Lallies have to fire it back there and allow the Galway forwards to go in and forage and see what they can do. And we know what Jason Flynn can do. Here he is, number 13. Swinging on this one, swinging it smartly and swinging it over the crossbar. For his third, for another for Galway, and they are now leading by 1-23 to 20 points for Cork.
Yeah, that's a great score. Right out in the sideline, just one look. And in the build-up to that, Gerard, Cork had a ball in their half-back line. 5 passes, maybe 2 or 3 yards each.
That's really good play here. And it's David Collins. First contribution since coming off the substitutes bench. I'm sure a horrible place to be on a wretched afternoon. Not that it's too bad right now as Cooney goes through. Stopped by the goalkeeper. Second opportunity to follow up was by Conor Whelan. He's got a 65, but they were looking for a goal. Anthony Nash foiling them.
Yeah, good first time ball by David Collins. Joseph Cooney did well. Good save by Anthony Nash, and watch Conor Whelan coming. He mishit it and pulled a bit of a stroke there afterwards. And Anthony Nash got a bit.
He's composing himself now. And that extra moment he gave himself works out. He's got another. Against Galway's name. From this puck out, Aidan Walsh leaves it behind here, and Cathal Mannion, such a tricky operator. Big one in here towards Joe Canning. Eventually it's left there. Whelan hits it into the back of the net. What a day for Conor Whelan. Goal and a point. He has scored. The goal coming in the 66th minute. It's the perfect debut, a great team performance. That was played all the way down. I think it was Johnny Glynn who'd got into full forward. It was, and then he laid it off. He had no hurley. He left it for Whelan, and he knew how to use his.
Yeah, good play by Johnny Glynn, but maybe sums up the game. Look at the amount of time he stood back. Johnny Glynn said, "Come on, Conor, you pick it up now and put it in the back of the net." Nobody from Cork there to defend it, and this is one of the poorest defensive displays I've seen for a long, long time.
And that's Lehan trying to go through. He was fouled a couple of times there, and the referee has finally brought the
at the moment.
Here's Aidan Walsh. Lorcan McLaughlin spins around, hits it up towards Seamus Harnedy. Back out it comes once again, and Joe Canning out around midfield right now, setting one up again for Conor Whelan. He's got a goal and a point. Could he get it again? Could he get another one? You betcha. You bet he can do it. Having the day of his life here. Goal and 2 points. Only 18 years of age. First day. New star born.
And great work right there by Joe Canning. Lovely ball inside to him. And here's Aidan Hart having a go from a long way.
Everything is just dropping now. When you're on top of your game and you're winning this handily, everything flies over. And look at the margin now, 11 points between the teams. An absolute drubbing for Cork. A wretched way for Jimmy Barry Murphy and his management team to complete the championship season. Horrible weekend for Cork, having lost badly to Kildare, of course, also in the football. That was last night here.
Yeah, and I think any supporter doesn't mind the team losing. I watched the match last night as well, but there was both those Cork displays lacking guts and heart and determination, the basics of an inter-county player, and you can just see the body language of the Cork players out in the field there now. It's just, they've just given up completely.
As well. Once again, it is Niall Healy. He'd fancy a score against his name, and he's not going to get one. He's got another one. Again, it's Harnedy battling. They're all battling, but not getting any success, however. And once more, it's just taken out of defence here. Cathal Mannion is back in his own half-back line, fancying another one, and he is absolutely dead-eyed Dick here. He's got the radar working, and he's got a 7th point from open play. And you know, they've all been from a fair old distance.
That's an incredible score. He's had a game that he'll never forget. 7 points in play here in Thurles against Cork, and he's given a magnificent display. And you know, you talked about Porrick, but overall throughout the whole team, I think Daniel Carney maybe earlier on was the only Cork player that might have been winning his own battle, but outside of that, Galway have dominated in every sector of the field.
No question about that. So now they will turn their attention to the semi-final assignment, and I think it's Galway against Tipperary, and it's Kilkenny against Waterford. That is the lineup, I think. Brian Murphy. Colin couldn't get to it. Instead, it's Cathal Mannion. Nobody near him, nobody on him. It's been more like less like 30 seconds to go. Can Niall Healy get his point? He can. One for Healy. Another for Anthony Cunningham there alongside Irla Tanyan. A job well done. A satisfactory afternoon.
You know, you'd wonder where the fight in Cork against Clare here the last day, you know, really up for the game that evening. But this is just abysmal. It's hard to watch this last few minutes of this game. Cork players have completely given up.
Aidan Walsh got the last point, but it's Galway who have the victory. They have beaten Cork once again. That's the 4th time that they have beaten them in a row in the championship. They go on to the semi-finals of the All-Ireland Series. Jimmy Barry Murphy's team